And welcome back, everyone, to What If? And this What If, Part 2. What if Goku landed on King Kai's and was raised by King Kai? Part 2. I'm all disheveled again until the internet is back at my house. I'm kind of going back and forth. Becomes a little boggling on the mind a bit. Just you're not in your normal surroundings when you do it, so it just kind of throws you off a bit. But real quick, someone brought up a question, and I don't know if it was in the last version of our last part, the first video we did this, or in a different video entirely. But it's a question I think does need to be asked. But it has, I think, a very clear answer, but it doesn't need to be asked. Can Goku learn Divine Ki from King Kai? Can he learn God Ki? Can he develop a God form? And I honestly think the general answer to that is no. No, he cannot. The obvious answer as to why King Kai didn't teach him Divine Ki while he was training when the beginning was A, not enough time, and B, God Ki hadn't existed yet until Battle of Gods. But with Battle of Gods, you would assume that King Kai could just say, "Oh, Goku, you could, I can give you a couple pointers or something like that." You would think he could do that, but he can't, or he hasn't. And I subscribe to the theory that he can't teach Divine Ki to a mortal because he himself doesn't actually have Divine Ki. What do I mean by that? Because you would say, well, no, the Kais have Divine Ki. Well, they kind of do, but they don't have God Ki. They do not have the same type of Ki as an angel. They do not definitely don't have Destroyer Ki. They don't have God Ki on that level. They definitely have a different type of Ki, which you could call God Ki. But that, so far, we've only ever really seen that demonstrated with individuals like the Supreme Kai, or Supreme Kais, I should say. They have demonstrated at least, or Supreme Kai candidates like Zamasu, they have demonstrated certainly divine-esque Ki. Hence why you got Super Saiyan Rose, because it mixed with his Kai Ki. But that's what I just said there, Kai Ki. That might be more what we should call it than Divine Ki, because we can kind of, what's the best way to play it? We can kind of gauge whether or not an individual has God Ki, but at least until we get to Battle of Gods and beyond, because it does appear that individuals like the Supreme Kai and King Kai, their Ki can be sensed by mortals. And if you want proof on that, just look at the fight. Just look at Piccolo going up against Shin in the tournament before Buu, the whole Buu thing. He could sense how powerful he was. Like, he could tell, and he was also like not sensing all of his power. He was freaked out by Shin, and that's because he could on some levels. Now, to be fair, Piccolo is maybe an outlier for that because he did fuse a Kami who maybe could, but then again, he couldn't sense Beerus's Ki as far as I know. So yeah, so as far as we can tell, no, Piccolo didn't gain the ability to sense Divine Ki. So I say all this because maybe King Kai could teach him something, but King Kai is basically North, West, South, and East Kai are more or less the weakest members of the Kai family. Then it goes the Grand Kai, then the Supreme Kais, and then you go into the Angels and Zeno and all that. I mean, obviously, Gods of Destruction are way above Kais in terms of power, but still. So it's a long way of saying no. I don't think King Kai can teach Goku Divine Ki. At the very best, he can teach him a variation on Divine Ki. But even then, it wouldn't be anything. Would it add to Goku? Sure, I guess. But I don't know how much you could say it adds. It's not really a, I think words here, a good, not the word I'm looking for. It's not really something that King Kai could theoretically, probably even knows how to teach. That's the other problem. I don't even know if King Kai knows how to teach that. So yeah, because again, even though he is a god, he's probably as low on the totem pole as a god as you can. Kami, he ranks above Kami, but Kami's not even an actual god. He's just the guardian of the planet. So he's got some very, very, very minimal levels of divinity, just because that we know Dende was able to figure out Beerus was the god. So Kami probably had some levels to him, but regardless, I digress. We would catch up after the final tournament, and then all the the years in between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Now, I should note that because Piccolo was, or King Piccolo was straight out sealed away. A, there's no Piccolo, as we established, Junior. But B, the martial arts tournament actually carries on as normal. There was a big pause because they kind of banned it after a while, after the whole Goku Piccolo incident, until it came back and Circle Satan became the champion of the world. They did kind of hold off from doing any more of them, because otherwise Goku would have just come back and defended his title otherwise, and he didn't. Because, hey, and Chi-Chi would have probably said, Goku, go get us that money. That's probably what she would have said, because Chi-Chi's very financially concerned. Either way. So that means you've got a really big time gap here. Goku, power-wise, who has probably been using the hyperbolic time chamber as well, because he visits Earth from time to time. Probably visits it more often than King Kai was suspecting. But King Kai looks on and goes, I'm glad he's been able to find some friends. I mean, it's great having Goku here, and I would never want him to truly forget his home. But it's good to know that he's able to branch out and find others that can appreciate him for him. And so he's been spending a lot more time on Earth. As I said in the previously, Goku probably helps train, maybe does even train with Krillin, Tien, the others. And now I did lowball Krillin and Tien at first, which, by the way, I put Krillin actually as the martial arts champ here, not Tien. I think Krillin has worked a lot harder. He's the sole student of Roshi, which means even though he doesn't have Goku to compete against, him forming a rivalry with Tien allows him to kind of surpass his limits, and I think just outpace Tien. But with Goku there, and even kind of spreading some of his wisdom about Kai training, I need to reevaluate where I put the power levels at. So I would say personally, Tien and Krillin both training together with Goku. I mean, and Goku's not always there, but he's there a decent amount. Like, I'd say he's there half the time. I might put Krillin, especially when he's been training with Goku, and Goku maybe even passes on the knowledge of, at minimum, instant transmission, maybe Kaioken if he thinks they're ready, but the Kaioken he even says, like, yeah, no, I probably wouldn't try the Kaioken right now. I mean, okay. Tien probably ends up surpassing Krillin just a little bit. Tien actually was the naturally stronger of the two anyway, but it's probably not by much. And I'll even say this. I'll put Tien probably around 1,200, which is a lot, but we know Tien can get there. And I'd put Krillin maybe around 1,000. But Krillin wants to get Krillin and Tien are both opposites. Tien gets the instant transmission down. And while Krillin certainly wants to get that down, he wants to be able to, match Tien. So he's been struggling with the Kaioken. And I think what ultimately comes down to is Goku just like, look, and Goku, whose power level right now, I'm going to put in even 50 grand. I think it's more than reasonable after all these years and just continue to train and get stronger that Goku's power is. No, that's right. I put him at his Namek Saga power. I upped it to about 100 grand. That's what I did. Sorry, I'm backtracking from the last video. So Goku is still, they can't even touch Goku. But in fact, no one except for Frieza would be able to match Goku at this point, because Goku probably can do a Kaioken times 10 casually. So him and everyone else are, busy trading and say, oh wait, no, Krillin, don't Kaioken! Yeah! And Goku's like, and Goku's just catching him. Krillin's just saying, I'm alive. Am I dead? What's going on? What ice cream? I don't know why. It's like, well, easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. And Goku actually probably pulls out some healing abilities that King Kai put him. Just helps Krillin come say, oh man, that was so intense. Whoa. You actually were able to do it. That's awesome, Krillin. Although, it looks like you can really only handle the base version, which I'm not too surprised about. I mean, even I struggled with going beyond times 2 at first. But the fact that you were able to get it in your power, you're way weaker than I was back when I first started that. Well, Krillin probably thinks, wait, what? I'm weaker than you were when you started doing it? Yeah, and I didn't even go. and King Kai used to tell me, and that's the thing, he maybe calls him Dad, maybe calls him King Kai. And Dad used to say, never go past the double if you can help it. And honestly, the double was even hard. In fact, you're able to get this, you're you're less than half as strong as I was back then. That's amazing. Woo, all right. And so the times that Goku's off-world, kind of just doing Kai-esque activities. And, looking around and finding other planets to, frequent. Krillin is busy working on the Kaioken even further. Like, at least trying to maintain the Kaioken for longer. Meanwhile, Goku, as I mentioned in the previous one, does probably find Yardrat at some point, courtesy of King Kai's like, oh, that's where it is. Hi! And also starts training with the Yardrats. Now, his power wouldn't increase greatly. I'm not saying it wouldn't increase. I'm just saying it wouldn't increase greatly because the Yardrats, they're not very powerful, but they have a lot of unique techniques, including the instant transmission, which you note, how did you learn that technique? That's one of our techniques. Oh, yeah, that my dad taught it to me. Your father? Yeah, King Kai. King Kai? Yeah, don't worry about it. He's one of the guys who watches over this galaxy. So he kind of knew it from watching you guys. Don't spoil that, Goku. Don't tell him things, Goku. I was like, oh, sorry. He was like, what? Nothing. I'm talking to God. So I was like, oh, yeah. I was just wondering, would it be great if I could train with you guys? Oh, well, I mean, we don't get many visitors here, but sure, you can train. Yes, we'd be happy to teach you. And so Goku spends the remaining that free period in training with the Yardrats. And he already has instant transmission down. He even practices it even further, like using it in combat. Gigantification, like the healing arts from whatever their healing arts are. And obviously the spirit vision as well. The spirit vision, I think, is the one that Goku struggles the most with, but he still ends up getting it relatively down, able to basically just divide the spirit of two things, more or less, and the spiritual energy, whatnot. I mean, that's what Vegeta was able to do against Moro for a little while as he absorbed the planet and then he's like, I can't do this forever, Kakarot, come on! But we now catch up to the beginning of Z. Now, real quick, need to just note, Chi-Chi has never even met Goku. She probably just meets someone and gets married. So Bulma and Yamcha are still a thing. There's really not much else to say in terms of that. There's no Gohan. All the Z-Fighters have just stayed training, which means without the times Goku's there, their progress slows. But by the time we actually get to Dragon Ball Z, the beginning of Z, we see Tien's probably not 1500. Krillin is now probably close to like 1300, but he does in fact have the Kaioken. And he now can do it, and now he's just going to learn to, raise the multiplier. He can do a base Kaioken without too much issue. But now, granted, they keep their power pretty low, too, because there's no real reason to be, doing that. And so they're meeting back up. Goku just, hi, guys, sorry, like, Goku, you're here. It's like, Goku, it's good to see you again, my friend. It's like, yeah, good to see you guys, too. So how you been? And they're just chatting. And all of a sudden, they sense the energy coming to the planet. And it's the biggest power they've felt since, Goku. And mind you, Goku dwarfs this level of power. But he's still like, wait. And I said, that's interesting. Oh, wait a minute. This power feels familiar. Wait, this is, and Krillin and Tien are also like, yeah, that's a lot of power. Now, granted, they're actually strong enough to beat Raditz outright. I mean, I should say Tien is equal to Raditz, but Krillin is, with Kaioken, stronger than Raditz. And he can now maintain the base Kaioken, at least without killing himself. It's still, tire him out immensely, but he can do it. So he can surpass Tien, which does make him the strongest fighter on the planet, technically. But more to the point, they're just wondering, what is this? And Goku finds this is a Saiyan power level. Saiyan power level? Yeah, it's like my own. Which, by the way, I haven't addressed yet Goku's Oozaru form, because there hasn't been necessarily a reason to address it yet. And King Kai has probably mentioned to Goku, like, you must never look at the full moon, Goku. I think I maybe addressed it a little bit, but he's probably, like I said, he probably trains with those, if the few times he's trained with Ozaru, he's probably done it on worlds where he's not going to hurt anyone, and Genkai has probably had to like mentally kind of bring him back into the fold. I don't really think Goku will be able to control Ozaru at this point, despite all of his training with King Kai and even training with the Yardrats. At best, he can direct his anger at an opponent. Like he knows, he can at least distinguish friend from foe, but you don't see him talking in his form. This will be important because while King Kai, I don't think he can teach him Divine Ki, what I think you can maybe do is because of Dalma being more or less, again, the canosity of Dalma is problematic to say the least, because if it is in fact all canon, that raises a huge ass bunch of plot holes, like serious plot holes in Super. Like, where the F is Super Saiyan 4? And you may say, well, that needs magic to activate. And the first time it did, then Goku just in the final fight, because I did see the final fight between him and the other guy. No, he just powered up into that shit. So unless you can only do it in the demon realm, which is not confirmed, that is a big ass plot hole. But I say all that because this might be something King Kai can initiate and do for Goku, is activate God's Super Saiyan 4 when the time comes. Like King Kai's maybe said that maybe I do have some ability, Goku. I might be able to help you harness the power of the Ozaru without transforming and using the moon. Although it would be very risky. It's probably not the right time to be trying this out. No, well, all right, fine, but maybe it'd be great if I could get stronger. I want to be able to protect as many people as I can. And say, you're still aiming for Frieza, aren't you? And the Saiyans. And Goku just like, the Saiyans are my people. The Saiyans are my people, King Dad. Like, you raised me, and I'll always be thankful. And you'll always be my family and my father. But they are my people, and I need to at least try to help bring them back and get them out of the hands of Frieza. And I need to make him pay. He cannot keep going around hurting people. And which, by the way, I know I'm not strong enough yet. I can sense how powerfully, and he's holding back. I could beat him as he is now, but if he transforms, I don't have the power to beat him. So Goku knows this, and he senses again the power coming down. Wait, I know this power. I've sensed it before. It's a Saiyan like me, an alien being from another world. And but this one, wait, could this be? Now, this is a very good question. Does he know Raditz is his brother? I'll be honest, probably not, because I don't even know if even King Kai would have known that. I mean, yeah, he was maybe paying attention to what was happening on Vegeta, but wasn't paying attention to the day in, day out of the Saiyan every single day, and every individual Saiyan. So he probably doesn't know that Raditz is in fact his brother. It's like, I finally found you, and it's getting, well, he's getting closer, and Goku just looks up. I finally found you, Kakarot. Kakarot. So that was my Saiyan name, huh? What are you doing here? Why haven't you conquered the planets yet? Why would and Goku's just looking on, and he's about to say, why would I? And then he realizes, oh yeah, that's right. It's like, what? Didn't you forget what your mission was when you came here? What? Are you making nicety with the natives? Are you insane, Kakarot? It's like, no, I'm not insane, but my name is Goku, not Kakarot. Kakarot might be my Saiyan name, but it's not the name I've grown up with. What? You land here and you go completely native. Have you? What, did you hit your head as a child? Yeah, and Goku's like, I did, but that's not the point. And no, I'm not. I wasn't raised here. I was raised somewhere else by someone else. It's like, wait, who exactly? You probably don't know him. And well, I want to know. Who is the man who says you're better than this? That says you're better than me. Better your own family. My own family? Wait, that's right, Kakarot. I'm your we're brothers. Loyal members, proud members of the Saiyan race. And it's our job to conquer planets, and sell them off at the highest bidder. And to which Goku then throws back, you mean it's Frieza's job to use us to conquer planets and sell them off at the highest bidder. It's our job to be pawns for him. Is that correct? You know about Frieza? Of course you know about Frieza. Why wouldn't you? Frieza's and Raditz is trying to save face. It's like, Frieza spared us. He allows us to fight in his army. Frieza could kill you at any time he wants. He's the one who destroyed the Saiyan race. What? Yeah, and he's like, you know that. Wait, how do you... Now he's like, wait, how do you know that? Vegeta, obviously we know Raditz and Nappa and Vegeta figured that out a while back. Vegeta particularly. And he's like, it doesn't matter now. All that matters is power. And say, when he's done with you, he'll wipe you out with a breath. A breath. You've gotten a lot very cocky growing up wherever you've grown up. And what about you? You have something to say? All I can say is if you're with a family like you, who needs enemies? It's like, you want to talk, little bald one. To which Tien was already ready to go. Perhaps you'd like me to show you just how much of an enemy I can be. And all of a sudden, his scouter kind of realizes his scouter just starts going up because Krillin and Tien start unsuppressing their power. Mind you, I don't know if Krillin wears weighted training clothes like Goku and Piccolo did, because taking those clothes off suppress some of their power, or putting those clothes on suppress their power. I don't believe he does. So him and Tien are just naturally suppressing their power, and they raise their power up relative. Wait, 700, 800, 1200, 1300, and which, yeah, I think I said 13, not 1200. 1300? No, 1500. And it's like he's as strong as I am, and that was nearly as strong as I am. Kakarot, you're going to let them do this to your brother? To which Goku is like, Goku is looking, is like, no, guys, calm down. He's my brother. I'll handle him. Okay, look, and he just puts the arm on his shoulder, hand on his shoulder. Let's go somewhere and talk. And just goes off on a complete. What are we? It's like, we're on a planet. Blah 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 blah. Wait, how did the instant transmission? What? Say it's a yard rat technique. I learned it from my dad. Basically, you can just move instantaneously, automatic teleportation wherever you go. You just gotta focus. But we need to talk. Look, I want to help you. I do. I want the few of us left to be able to go and which, by the way, that's another question. Do you think King Kai? Because I just realized Broly's still in the equation here. Do you think King Kai knew about Broly? I mean, I have to assume he did. It's a pretty powerful guy. I'm just saying. I mean, and he should keep track of the entire North Galaxy. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you think he knew about Broly? Again, to be fair, Broly didn't come about until Dragon Ball Super, the movie, this version, the canon version of Broly. But I mean, we have to assume if he did, then why he didn't bring it up, I have no idea. So actually, no, there's a good chance he didn't know about it, because I mean, the galaxy is still vast, and King Kai is probably keeps his focus more on like the actual big events going on in the galaxy, focusing on Frieza or like the big evils that show up, like Boo or Cell or something like that. So, I mean, yeah, he probably also keeps in track on some of the civilizations, but because Vampa's not a civilization, he probably doesn't regularly go and focus on that. So Goku at this time doesn't probably know about Broly. That's not to say he wouldn't find out about Broly later on. I do have an idea for that, but either way, yeah, I just want to lay that out there before we continue. It's like, Kakarot, you've grown pretty strong. I'm guessing you've grown pretty strong, Kakarot. Tell you what, then, I'm not listening to any more of this unless you beat me fair and square to fight, little brother. It's like, you really want to do this? You've grown pretty cocky. That's true, but you're always the weaker one of the two of us. Now then, let's see how far you're really going. Powers up. Now then, let's see what you've got, Kakarot. And Goku's like, all right then. I've been watching you guys for a while. I have been wanting to do watching us for a while. There you go again, acting like you're some sort of omniscient deity or something like that. Well, all right, that's enough. Or just, miss. Almost. Damn it. And Goku's not even going like a tenth of his full power. He's been, because Goku also has really good ki control, so he knows how to just hold back when he needs to. It's like, and just blocks it. Probably does the bear saying, not too shabby. Although, I mean, you are supposed to be the big brother, right? And it's like, boom, boom. It's like, fine, take this. Tries to attack it. Boom. It's like, nope. Boom. It's like, boom. And just Goku just appears behind him, back towards him. If we stop doing this and just kind of work together, I can help train you up. You got a lot of potential there, bro. But I mean, Raditz just tries to like swipe kick, just reappears. But you got to really work on your tactic a little bit. How? And finally, he's like got his scouter active. Well, you're the one with the scouter. You tell me. And Goku, I should note, I'm keeping my power pretty low. I think I'm only going at about 10% right now. And so, Raditz's power scouter reads it. Now, how far, we know Raditz's scouter blew up right around the 20,000 range, but the likelihood is the reason for that is the increase in power was just happening too rapidly for the scouter to keep up. Likely it was also an older model, so it probably could only handle so much power, but yeah, it should be able to read 10,000. And so, that's 10,000? Wait, you said you're only going at 10%? It's like, 10, 15-ish. I'm not the best with math, but something around there. That means he completely surpasses Vegeta as well. And he's kept his tail. That means he's well beyond even Vegeta. He might even be able to take on another. And Goku's like, I'm going to stop you right there. I can't take on Frieza on my own. I'm not at that level of power yet. Frieza's got levels of power you haven't even seen yet. Can you read my mind? No, I can't read your mind. But now I know that look, and I know what you're thinking. But that doesn't mean everything's lost. Look, I would like for our people to be able to come back and regroup and grow back and grow together again. But we need to convince I'm not trying to just convince you. We need to convince the Vegeta and Nappa. He probably knows their names. We can build something there, and the people on Earth are willing to help us. They're not just they're not just my friends. They're my allies. I've been training them too. I can help you too. We can build something better than what we had. So you were too young. You don't even remember what we had. No, but my father knows about it. Your father. You keep saying your father. Who is this man? And just I was like, hey, Dad, can I bring my brother home? Get a brother home to meet you? It's like, well, he's not strong enough to cause a big threat in the planet between you and me. I think we'd take him. By the way, someone said that King Kai's power level is actually like around 4,000, 4,500. I have never seen a number that says that, but hold on. King Kai, try that again. King Kai power level. Let's see here. What is the is there? I don't think there's an actual confirm. Yeah, no. Sorry. Weekly Jump stated that King Kai's power level is 35. It's about the same level of power that Piccolo had against Nappa. So, yeah, I don't know where someone got the 4,000, 4,500 number. But he's still, I mean, look, that still makes him way stronger than, say, Raditz. And almost as strong as Nappa. And King Kai knows the Kai. I mean, he can teach the Kaioken. I can assume he can do at least a base Kaioken himself. My best guess is actually he can do a double Kaioken because he said, don't go past a double for Goku. This is probably because that's as far as he's ever gone with it. And he wouldn't trust himself to go beyond that. So, yeah, that means at 7,000, he could probably beat Nappa. Probably. Mind you, unlike Goku, he wouldn't fool around with Nappa and let him power up even further. So, yeah, he could beat Nappa. And so, he's just like, all right, hold on there. It's like, what is this? Is this a tiny planet? This is barely a moon. Well, maybe. Well, when you own your own planet, you can. And King Kai just said, well, when you decide to get your own planet, you can decide how big it is. Say, huh? Hello there. Say, oh, hi there. A weird blue midget, a monkey, and a grasshopper. I'm a cricket. This is what raised you. It's like, yep, meet King Kai, Bowles, and Gregory. I don't know what to say. Well, don't say anything. Just Just be thankful that I'm a gracious host, and that my son is I still my son here with a lot of I still Goku here with a lot of my values. Because if he had if he was all your Saiyan values, he wouldn't have even bothered to try. He would have he probably would have killed you outright. And Raditz does realize, oh yeah, if Goku really wanted to, he could have just straight out killed me. Huh. So so look, yeah, this is where you trained. You've learned all your techniques. Is that right? Well, not all of them. I also trained with the Yardrats for a while. Picked up a lot of cool stuff there too. The Yardratians, you mentioned. That's right. I remember that planet. This is ridiculous. No matter how strong you've gotten, you still can't be able to meet Frieza. No, not by myself, but together we might be able to do something. I can. King Kai, if you're King Kai, my dad here is more than willing to train you up. Kakarot, I know. Goku, he may have raised you, but he's not your dad. Not your father. And it's like, well, no, I mean, he's the only father I've known. Our father was Bardock, a great warrior, not a scientist, as the mistranslation said. A great warrior, Saiyan warrior. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember Bardock. Wait, what? Yes. You see, I am the guard. You see, I'm the watcher of the North Galaxy, which would include Planet Vegeta. I saw the day it happened. Your planet was destroyed. I am very sorry for your loss. As ruthless as warriors as you could have been, no one deserved to have that happen to them. I don't need your sympathy, but I appreciate your I won't deny the respect given to my people. Oh wait, what do you mean you knew my father? Well, I didn't know him personally, but I remember watching a lone Saiyan warrior. And now that I think on it, he looks a lot like you, Goku. He stood on his own, while all the other remaining Saiyans wouldn't believe him. He alone made a final stand against Frieza. Sadly, his power is nothing compared to the tyrant, and he lost his life as well as the rest of your planet. Still, he fought with great bravery. Fought very valiantly and bravery and heart beyond that of most Saiyans. You should be honored to consider him call him your father. And even Raditz just standing there, and he's actually got a tear in his eye. I will always be honored to call him my father, no matter what. And Raditz, bro, is it Raditz? For mother, and for our people. Do you really believe that we could convince Vegeta and Nappa? We could bring Frieza. It would still take more time and training, but I definitely believe it's possible. Anything's possible if you just believe. And so, sorry, I just realized I got one of my keys sticking. I think it's the F12. I'll have to figure out a way to pry that out. Not that it's affecting anything, luckily. Oh, it's a fast forward button. Interesting. Which isn't fast forwarding anything, luckily. So, Goku and fine, but I needed to first off take me back to my damn ship on Earth. It's like, oh right, sorry, and they let's get out of here. And then they reappear. It's like, Goku, we found his ship. It's like, all right, you ready to go? It's like, it's okay, relax. I'm not looking to fight you anymore. No, I have a different mission to go with. I mean, we could just go there and meet. I mean, I can pick up on where they are. We could just go there ourselves. Like, you could do that. It's like, oh, well, I mean, I did just take you to that planet, right? It's like, I suppose, but I should probably prepare them first. If they're not, first off, I should know where they are. It's like, I know their general location. They're on a planet somewhere. I said, fine, but they should at least know what's going to happen first. Because if we just show up randomly, it will not go well. And it's like, Vegeta, Nappa, do you come in? It's like, yes, Raditz, what do you want? It's like, I found Kakarot. It's like, oh, you made it to Earth. Interesting. All right, then. Oh, what's the news? Kakarot's willing to help us. It's like, oh, what do you mean willing to help us? Has he conquered the planet or not? No, but he has some other ideas. What other ideas could he have if he didn't conquer the blasted planet? And there's Kakarot. Why don't we talk it over in person? And in person, what? We'll be right there. And so we end with, hi there, I'm Goku, but you can call it, but if it makes you feel any better, you can call me Kakarot. And so that's where we're going to end part 2. I am definitely got, I don't go fanficky very often. One of my viewers just is like, but why don't you? Because I don't choose to go that way. But every once in a while, this isn't truly fanfic, but it's definitely exploration with the story topic we have. And I dig it. It does come off a little fanficky, and I'm all right with it. Once in a while, okay, going down a bit more of the fanficky hole. So anyway, that's where part 2 is going to end. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time.